I'm currently fighting a massive head cold, so please excuse my voice in this video, and no, I will not be on camera, but there is a couple pieces of new information related to Nintendo Switch 2 and the reveal time that I want to go over, because we know we're inching closer to this thing finally getting officially revealed from Nintendo, and now there's two new different reports kind of suggesting that this September timeframe for the reveal, and all these rumors are about the direct presentations getting moved up to the end of August to make room for some kind of Switch 2 announcement, seems to have more sources talking about it than ever. Then the other story we have to talk about has to do with the big revealed plans for Nintendo's holiday season, because while many were questioning whether or not we would see something like a price drop this year, with Nintendo now being 7.5 full years into the Switch's life cycle and never seeing a price drop, it does indeed seem that Nintendo will not be doing a price drop, but rather a very large selection of different console bundles across all different levels of their hardware, not just the one we talked about on the OLED Mario Wonder bundle before, but 4 additional bundles that are now being claimed to be revealed as soon as this week and going up for sale as soon as next week. So we're going to get on the same page with all of this. Before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your bell notification to join Sunbro Nation if you're new here. And we have to first kick this conversation off with Nintendo's big holiday strategy, because you probably remember in years past, we've seen them do things like pack in games around the holiday season, most notably Mario Kart 8 Deluxe being the year in, year out, copy and paste bundle repeat that they do every single year. Well, in more recent years, we have seen them add in some variety with games like Smash Bros as the pack-in. Last year, one where you could pick from 3 different Mario platformer games, as opposed to just having one game. You actually get a digital download code to pick the game of your choice, and some Animal Crossing bundles on the Lite Edition Switches, in addition to some others that are slipping my mind right at this moment. But you can first see this article over on VGC, which does seem to give us a preview look at what Nintendo is about to be announcing in terms of Switch bundles this year around the corner. Nintendo is reportedly launching 5 new Switch bundles in Europe, including a Switch OLED console with Super Mario Bros. Wonder. According to ever-reliable data miner Bill Kuhn, Nintendo is planning to announce 5 new Switch bundles, at least 3 of which will launch in September. Writing on Deal Labs, they claim that the bundles will include 2 separate Switch Lite packs, each priced at 219 euros, and a regular Switch console bundled with Nintendo Switch Sports and a 12-month Nintendo Switch Online subscription for 299 euros. These are expected to be announced on September 12th or 13th and to launch on September 19th. The contents of the Switch Lite bundles are currently unknown. Nintendo is also said to be planning to announce 2 Switch OLED bundles, each priced at 349 euros. One will come with the download code for Super Mario Bros. Wonder and a 3-month Nintendo Switch Online subscription. The contents of the other OLED bundle are currently unknown. It's also unclear if the Switch OLED bundles will be announced and or launch at the same time as the other 3 bundles. So if you are somebody who's in the market for the current family of Switch systems that we have today and not the successor console this holiday season, you will probably want to wait at least until the mid-October timeframe, as it seems like last year, if I'm remembering correctly, we got these European bundles announced first over there, then shortly after, within a couple weeks, we had similar bundles, not always one-to-one, but basically roughly the same amount of dollar value announced over here. And it's pretty clear that Nintendo, if they're pricing them at the suggested price points, which just match their same retail that they've been sold at with a pack-in game, that is the decision that they are going to be going forward with, instead of just an across-the-board price drop where they maybe discount the OLED to 300 instead of 350 and the base model console to 250 and the Lite to 150. It looks like that's not what we're going to see, but rather just Nintendo adding in some additional value with some pack-in games and that 3-month plus Nintendo Switch Online membership. Now, some will suggest online that these bundles are a big telltale sign that Nintendo's not going to be doing anything to market their next-gen console in this current year. And not only is that not true, if you look at history where they have done things like bundles on a Wii U and 3DS after the original base model Switch was revealed, but it's also clear that Nintendo has to do stuff like this to try to even come anywhere close to hitting that 13.5 million units number that they forecasted to their investors. So this is a very expected move from them, and I was personally hoping for just an across-the-board price drop, but it seems like more games and more options as the pack-in title just seem to be how we're doing things this console generation. I mean, console prices are literally going up, not down this time around, which is kind of crazy to say, but hopefully they do some kind of Tears of the Kingdom bundle. I think something like that would go over very well with a $70 MSRP Switch game being packed in. And I could also see them bringing over the Super Mario Bros. Wonder bundle to this region of the world. So let me know in the comments down below what bundles, if any, you would be most interested to see, and whether or not you will be in the market for picking up a Nintendo Switch current family of systems this holiday season. Now, the other story we're talking about about today has to do with a few different reports circulating online suggesting that September is looking more and more like the most likely month for Nintendo to reveal their next-gen hardware. We just learned about the PS5 Pro today at a $700 price tag without a disc drive and the stand sold separately, which is absolutely outrageous. And I don't think that ties into Nintendo's plans on when they announce this at all, but it will be nice to have potentially a next generation console on retail shelves at a $400 price point that can honestly run a big majority of the same type of games that were shown off at the PlayStation event. Not to the same detail and level of quality and frame rate clearly, but you get the idea. But you do probably remember some previous rumors being discussed that Nintendo had actually shifted around their original plans to hold their traditional September Nintendo Direct and Indie World presentation, and basically the claim was from PH Brazil that multiple presentations had been moved up into the month of August towards the end of the month to make room for Switch 2 news that would be coming forward soon. Well, we saw the Nintendo Museum Direct air, and that was kind of an unexpected presentation to take place at the end of August. Then the historical September Direct that we see them put on every single year within the Switch's life cycle without fail was not held in September this year, but rather at the tail end of August. And then there's even some claims online backing up from third-party developers that had their games in that showcase that they were not expecting that event to take place at the end of August, but rather the more traditional September timeframe, supporting these claims, where you can see the following post on Our Gaming Leaks and Rumors, which reads, "The August Nintendo Direct aired earlier than expected by Falcom. Falcom didn't know the Direct was going to air when it did, which unexpectedly happened before another event Falcom was going to. There were rumors Nintendo moved up the Direct from September and would be consistent with what Toshihiro Kondo is saying. Falcom wasn't expecting to have to talk about Trails in the Sky, the first remake, at the event, was the impression I got." So the idea there is that yes, some internal behind the scenes plans did indeed shift around like we were hearing, and while this developer had already submitted their trailer to Nintendo to be featured at the next Direct, they expected it to happen later on and not so early in the month of August, which further supports the idea that the September/October timeframe looks really promising for the Switch 2 revealed. Then you have this next source, and I'm going to say this one I will not put any level of credibility onto myself, but it does line up with what Christopher Dring and Andy Robinson over at VGC were saying on their podcast, where they're not necessarily 100% confident in a full-on Switch 2 reveal happening in September to where they would make bets around it, but they have been hearing it from a number of independent journalists within the industry, and there's definitely some behind-the-scenes whispers and chatters going on about it. But you can then see this next post from Our Gaming Leaks and Rumors, which reads, "Un Café con Nintendo claims that Nintendo has told its soldiers to get ready for a big event. In the latest episode of their Spanish podcast, they claim that they knew about the incoming big announcement before the leak started. They say that Nintendo has told partners to get ready for a big promotion coming soon and talked about an event Switch 2 related. They also know something else they cannot mention because revealing it would compromise their source. All three hosts say that they have been told first-hand specific details. One host says he is 99% sure, and the other says he is 80% that the reveal is in the coming weeks. They also claim that there is backwards compatibility and a system to transfer data from Switch 1 to Switch 2. They also confirm what Brazil has said about moving everything forward to clear September." You next have Paul Gale Network saying that he's heard this around the reveal. "I cannot verify this firsthand, but something huge just came my way. Supposedly quite recently, a trailer-like commercial was filmed to promote a certain next-gen console. If this is indeed the case, I think we are 1 to 6 weeks away from a reveal." So whether or not you want to put any stock into these rumors is entirely up to you, but there is more sources than ever chiming in on the likelihood of the reveal happening sometime this month or as late as October, but not that waiting period until January or February, or even as late as March of next month, which to be fair would be the latest that Nintendo could announce this thing, because they communicated that it has to happen before March 31st, 2025 themselves. So don't blame me for wanting to keep your expectations low, but there is now a lot of moving pieces that have lined up together that all seem to tie into this very real shift of Nintendo's internal plans behind the scenes, and it could indicate an announcement sooner rather than later. I like September at this point in time because of how Nintendo has cleared everything out and has even let their previews go live for games like Echoes of Wisdom, which you would expect, but not necessarily Mario Party Jamboree, where they did that earlier. Seems like they're dropping new promotional information and data for the games that fill out the rest of their 2024 lineup a lot earlier than usual. Mario and Luigi Brothership getting multiple new trailers and pieces of information and promotional websites. Like, it does seem out of character for Nintendo to do what they're doing, and it very much seems like the September timeframe, in my opinion, is looking more and more likely than ever, but maybe it's October too. I am definitely Team 2024, but that's where I want to hear from you guys at this point in the video. What do you make of all these new rumors and reports online about the Switch 2 reveal and all of the different bundle options that we're going to be getting this year for the current family of Switch systems? And are you now leaning more towards one direction or the other with your own personal expectations about when we might see this console finally revealed? And are you going to be picking up any of the aforementioned bundles? So make sure you share all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below before you leave, regardless if we agree or disagree. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell. And with that, I've been Sunbro, you've been Nation. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.